Do your clients have goals? Do you talk to your clients about setting goals? Do you explain to your clients why goal setting is so important? Or do you focus on product selection and the subsequent performance of that recommendation in your client reviews? Maybe you don't think goals are of any interest to your clients, so you don't bother discussing them. Or maybe you just don't know how they truly benefit you or your client. My name is Andrew Goodwin, and this is a short presentation to help you achieve better client outcomes with this week's focus on goals. When the word goal comes up, obviously you're going to think about football. This picture is of Eric Cantona in 1996 FA Cup final when Manchester United beat Liverpool 1-0. It's a great volley, a lot of skill, superb, well taken, and they went on with that goal to win the trophy. The outcome was to win the trophy. So the definition of a goal in soccer, a pair of posts linked by a crossbar and typically with a net between, forming a space into which the ball must be sent in order to score. The object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. That's what we're going to focus on this week when we're talking about setting client goals. Oh, by the way, let's get rid of this picture for the Liverpool fans. Before we have a look at examples of goals and why goal setting is important, let's have a look at goal setting theory. There are two fundamental ways to achieve something. You can start with the end in mind, a goal, in order to achieve a better outcome, or you can start something off and see where it might take you, an idea. Whatever you do, both require a plan in the end. So start with the end in mind, a goal. For example, Bill Gates said every house should have a computer. Clearly, that was his goal. He then designed a plan of action in order to achieve that. In comparison, also a very successful individual, James Dyson, didn't have a goal to have every household with a bagless vacuum cleaner. He was an inventor. So everything came from ideas, and these ideas that developed into a plan, and then some success followed. So goal setting theory does happen from both an idea or goal setting. Let us take this goal setting theory into the financial services. What you're trying to achieve is better client outcome. So let's say, for example, you're talking to a client and you both agreed that they can save £200 a month because the interest rates in their bank account are very low. You recommend an ISA for that money, and you're able to give the clients a login so that they can monitor the progress of the growth of their savings. You come across another client very similar in the afternoon. However, they don't really know necessarily how much they have to afford yet to save regularly, but they have a goal, and that's to build a deposit of over £30,000 over 10 years. So you may therefore recommend, once you've worked it all out, that £200 a month into an ISA would achieve this. So both these clients have exactly the same plan, to grow money to around about £30,000 over 10 years. But one of them has an outcome, and that is to own a home. That's their target, whereas the first one only has an idea and they don't really know what they're trying to achieve long term. So it turns out, and I know what you're thinking, it makes no difference whether the client has a goal or they don't have a goal, because they are saving £200 a month anyway into an ISA that you've recommended anyway. However, monitoring is to achieve better client outcomes. If we remember that, then it makes a difference whether they have a goal or not. Your ongoing reviews are a lot easier when they have a goal. So, for example, Whether it's an idea, a plan, or a goal, it's the gap in between, the journeys that this money will make, that makes a difference. If you look at the plan on the right and you don't have a goal, like the first client who just wanted to save £200 a month, then all they're going to ask is, how has the investment grown? And this is therefore 100% the advisor's task. They're always going to consider the money that they invested, that last month would be £200, and what's it worth today? It's always what I would class as front-end performance. However, if you have a goal, then a goal creates a shortfall. Their challenge was to get £30,000. They know they've saved some money. What is left? What is the shortfall? Well, it will be £29,000, then it'll be £28,000, and eventually it will be zero. And that's when you get the measure. So it's all about the progression. When you have a goal, it's all about the progression and the shortfall. The good news here is that unlike the first one, where they put the money in and it's sheer performance and it's 100% advisor's recommendation that matters, with progression, yes, you're trying to make it grow, but the client also takes responsibility for that shortfall. They could, at any point, increase their £200 a month to £300 a month if they know what their shortfall is in order to get to their goal much quicker. The point, therefore, is that if you do not have a goal, then whatever you're doing is otherwise aimless. It's purposeless. It's pointless. It's undirected. It's just drifting. It's haphazard. It's random. What a goal does is very quickly identify the shortfall. So if the goal is to set £30,000 target in 10 years' time, the immediate distance to that, the shortfall, is £30,000. And all you need to do is monitor that £30,000 the gap will shrink. Not the investment grow, the gap will shrink. Focus on the gap, because you can only work with the money the client gives you. So you can always encourage the client to invest and save a little bit more money to reduce the shortfall. So focusing on a shortfall, it has a different purpose. It creates and drives motivation for the client to either earn a little bit more money, give you a little bit more money, save a little bit more money, spend less maybe, in order to achieve their goal on their outcome to own a property. So by the time you help your clients to achieve this £30,000 and they use it for a deposit, they get their house, then the outcome, them having that house that they didn't have 10 years earlier, means that you have achieved that client outcome. And it's that measure of their success and your success. The good thing about shortfall is that you should always ask the question, are we there yet? And by the way, these two birds here, they need to get a bit smart. The good thing about goal setting is that it's not as difficult as you might think. This is a standard. It's the SMART acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And this is produced by Indeed. It's a career guide. Those people who are looking for work, they will use this to try and measure their progress in their working life. But actually, SMART is actually only split into two main factors. One is the goal. What is the goal and when will it be achieved? So the S and the T are effectively what this goal set is about. How much do you need and when do you need it? I need £30,000 and I need it in 10 years' time in order to achieve my dream of owning a property. The second part is measure, attainable and relevant. What is the value today and is the plan still on target? Again, you're talking about the shortfall, the progression. And when you're talking about measure, none of those two questions, what is the value today and is the plan still on target, talk about the original investment, because by now it should not matter. It doesn't matter as long as that shortfall is reducing. I said there would be some goal examples, so here are a few. There's an obvious one. If you're a financial advisor, you'll know the first three very easily. A pension in retirement, how much do you need and when do you need it in order to retire, in order to leave work and sustain the lifestyle that you're accustomed to? Or in the examples I've been given, how long to save up for a deposit for your mortgage. You may well have children who will either need school fees or university to be paid for, so there's another target point and a time. So it's a monetary amount at some point in the future. A world cruise could be additional to the pension requirement. Because it's not the income, this could be a lump sum. Or one that I set for myself, to buy a brand new 911 Turbo S. I've always had that dream since I was 10, and it's still on the table. I'm still working hard to try and achieve it. In contrast, it could be just to clear debts. You've built up too much debt and you need to clear it completely, so you need to reorganize your spending and your saving. But here's one that's very different. When advisors say to me, my clients don't have a goal, all they want is a little bit more growth for the money. Well, don't just give them a little bit more growth, give them a target point. You can double your money in 10 years if you achieve 7.2% annually. It's called the 72 rule, and I'm going to talk about that in a subsequent presentation. The point is, anything works, but you must have a discussion, and at the very worst, try and achieve double your money for your client in 10 years. Have a think about it. See if you can write down 10 examples now. Think about your last 10 clients and see if you could revisit them and try and generate a target point for them and work on this idea of shortfall. On the right hand side in the picture, you'll see sustainable goals. These are goals today, the 17 goals today set by United Nations. We don't know whether we're achieving any or not, because that doesn't matter. They want to look at the end measure, For example, number 2 there, for the world to have zero hunger. Have we got a world with zero hunger? The answer no. So you must work harder at it. They're looking at the shortfall, not how well they've done. They don't want to pat themselves on the back. They want to achieve the outcome. The United Nations, therefore, created a mission statement in 2015, a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all by 2030. They set 17 standards. They get a time frame of 15 years to achieve it. So they have a shortfall and they have a goal. The question is it smart? In other words, is it achievable? Well done. You've managed to have the conversation with your client and they've agreed that you will set a goal. It may be a goal that they've chosen, it may be a goal that you've chosen, but you have a goal and therefore you have a shortfall that you can measure. If you place this investment on our wealth platform, VERO, it's already a move towards a better client outcome by targeting that goal. If you target a goal, you identify a shortfall. Your clients will be able to measure not only the value of their investment today, but the shortfall to the target that you've set for them, to that goal. And therefore it builds a stronger 50-50 client-advisor relationship. VERO allows the client to access the information online. Within seconds, they can get a value, they can get a shortfall, and more importantly, they can top up their investment without involving the advisor. It's a fantastic solution. Sits on a smartphone. Why not? This slide, as always, tells me I've reached the end of that presentation. Next week, I'm going to focus on shortfall. You've heard me mention it a few times, but we're going to look at it in more detail. How you can focus on the shortfall helps your clients. So join me next week and continue on our journey. As always, for more information, go to happyfinancialadvisors.co.uk. You can always find an advisor and talk to them about Truly Independent at trulyifa.co.uk, or you can buy the book, The Happy Financial Advisor, from Amazon. Thank you.